Honest discussioner, good reply as usual. You ask in response to my criticism whether there is a why to our free choices if agent causation is true. The why behind our choice is simply the chain of reasoning leading to the possible conclusion we actually make. What agent causation would say is that there exists instances where more than one chain of reasoning leads to another possible conclusion, which the free agent would then reject. For instance, if I have coffee and tea as options, and it's really hot out and I want tea for refreshment, I could also choose coffee, which has a lot of caffeine and gets me going. So I have two choices there, both with chains of reasoning that sufficiently bring about those options, but do not sufficiently force one option above the other. So I am free to choose as an agent between those two if those chains of reasoning are present in my mind. If I choose tea, that's my agent choice. The actual choice itself is caused by the agent. So we accept that there are reasons for our choices, but we accept that there are some instances where the chains of reasoning are not sufficient to cause us to choose, namely when two or more chains of reasoning in and of themselves are present and efficient for that option to be chosen by the agent, but not sufficient to cause one choice above another. More succinctly, agent causation would hold that the chains of reasoning are always sufficient for the presence of an option, but they are not themselves the reason for the act of choosing one choice above another, even though the reasons for the choices are logically necessary for the agent to choose the option to begin with. So the position is not demarking an insane case of reasonless action. All these choices have reasons backing them. But as far as the choice itself, the reason one choice attains over another for an agent is because the agent caused it to be so. That's what agent causation means. In other words, agent causation is the reason for the choice itself, and the choice itself is backed by the reasons that the option was able to be taken to begin with. I think, and I may be wrong about this, that free will compatibilists actually hold to this view as well, only they believe that one choice is the only option that actually will affect. So if I choose tea, the reason I choose tea is because that chain of reasoning outweighed the chain of reasoning for coffee. I don't hold that view, but I think compatibilists would still say that an agent chooses the tea. As far as Lebet experiments, I would worry that the reporting of awareness isn't lined up well with the actual awareness the agent has of conscious choice. It could even be the case that such actions are governed by habit rather than in important life choices like how one interacts with love for other people, what job one chooses, and so forth. As far as the brain states converging, that could just be the agent converging on one choice above another. I mean, I'd gladly concede that we can be measured to be more likely to choose one option over another, but I don't think that goes against my position, as I mentioned before, as that may demonstrate tendencies and not an absolute 100% collapse to absolute determinism. We can look on these types of experiments through either framework, really, my framework or yours, and make it work. I don't see how I can contradict yours, and I don't see how you can contradict mine with these experiments. Like Kant, I doubt that the problem of agency in the will can really ever be solved by pure empiricist thought and experimentation. Rather, I'd take agency to be the active effect of internal self-recognition, and an idea I think is properly basic and philosophically axiomatic. In other words, and the idea of agency is one I'd have to affirm in order to even possibly construct a way to deny its reality. I know even this still leaves compatibilism as a challenge for me, but that's a video for another time. So, in summary, I don't see how the framework of agent causation and freedom of option is overcome by your response. However, I've enjoyed my sparring about this age old problem with you, and I look forward to more of your challenges in the future.